finishing a project is always like a whole slew of emotions, right? You're elated that it's done, that people actually get to see your work and actually experience it.
It's my child, and I love Lumote. But also, you've grown up, get out. Just be your own thing.
For me, Lumote has been probably one of the more rewarding development experiences I've had, just because there wasn't a grand business plan that relied on Lumote shipping X number of units. The project wasn't burdened with business developmental issues. We were there because we wanted to explore the development of this particular game, and that was really kind of refreshing. There was no politics. There were just 4 team members that were highly competent, being responsible for their own respective areas.
There's a sense of passion that you can only get out of indie games. It's kind of like our little baby, right? So
it sort of forced me to get back in touch with the spontaneity and intuition that can inform your creative decisions.
I'm excited to do other ideas and make other games, which I guess, even though it was such a long process, we still came up with something like we're happy with and proud of, so much so that we're like, oh yeah, we'll totally make another game, not just another game. Like, we've already been like, oh, we should have like a game jam. You know, we've already forgotten the pains.
It's easily the longest project I've ever worked on.
We've learned a lot of stuff. I'm really excited to be finished so we can take what we've learned on Lumote and translate that forward, seeing what community develops from it. You know, people are already jumping on our Discord again. We're seeing lots more people make more little plushy Lumotes and stuff.
It's exciting, to be at this point right now where we're about to see, what the world thinks of it. I mean, we tried to launch it once, but it was basically a week before COVID hit. So it was kind of lights out on the first release, but I think it's going to be 2 times lucky. That's my feeling.
Can you talk about some of your personal challenges faced making Lumote?
The laser emitter is colliding with the world. My dad actually passed away while we were making Lumote. When you're putting so much time into a project, you put a lot of other things on the back burner. And so when my dad passed away, I definitely went through this period of what's the point? Should I be putting all this effort into, it's just a game, should I not be doing other things, And my dad had bought a boat because he was getting ready to retire and he loved boats. And so he was like, oh, you should come out on my boat. But we were coming up with some other demo. When you're making a game, there's always another demo. There's always another thing. You're like, I gotta finish this. So I didn't end up going out on the boat with him. And then he had passed away before I was able to go out on the boat. So I was always like, should I be spending my time doing these other things instead? But then my dad was always very proud of the fact that I was trying to make something, and I was making my own path. He was a doctor, but he actually did his undergraduate in computer science. So I knew he was also always really proud by the fact that I went into that as well. So that's was something where I was it made me want to keep going.
The 2 weeks before a New Year's, when we're almost done, and then it's oh, we're not done. But then on New Year's Eve, we would say, next year is the year of Lumote, and then we would just keep going.
So that when we were doing the whole this will be the year of Lumote, my niece every year, she would always ask, are you going to ship Lumote? And I'd be like, yeah, this year. And then it sort of became a meme, me at Christmas, that it's so when are you shipping Lumote? It's oh, next year. And she's like, really? She was quite young when we started. She was 10, 9 or something, right? She just turned 16.
I woke up in the morning like 2 months ago and I got this like picture on Discord of the crazy illustration that's going in the vinyl. Like that was amazing. Look at this crazy art from this like Italian artist. Like we're doing this whole thing and it's just like, I guess we made something people are inspired by. So that was pretty cool.
For a composer and a musician, actually having double vinyl release is kind of the top of the mountain. Like, I mean, the fact that they put together this package and brought in this phenomenal artist for the album art, you know, everyone that's in developing games, I think they're kind of after the same thing, which is, you know, where do you find the magic? Where something kind of takes on a life of its own and exists outside of the people that actually created it. For first-time players, I'm almost envious because they get to go into this world not knowing anything, discovering all of the attention to detail that we've put into the world and put into the puzzles and put into the presentation of it.
Those sorts of little details that we put in to try and convey a sense of these creatures are actually alive. Because it's a puzzle game, you almost like have more of a curious player. So there's a lot of like little things in there for a curious player to discover. And what I would love is for players to play what we created and it would inspire them to create something.
I hope it's a mini escapism, as all games, like good games should be, where you can go and play and just not worry for a little bit, you know?
Okay, I'll get here maybe, and we do the hands all at once.
Where are you gonna? Oh, you're gonna go. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Whoa!
Okay.
I guess that's a one-taker.